Kamala Harris failed to utilise populist rhetoric and storytelling to excite and energise her base. Stories of good versus evil, prosecutor versus criminal, the working people against multi-billionaires like Trump and Elon Musk. But this is only part of the story. Obviously, people were dissatisfied with the status quo and they just wanted something different. And to them, Trump was the alternative. He will make America great again. People wanted change, even though it may not be in their own interests. But there's another piece of the pie here, and that's the changing media landscape over the last decade. Legacy media is not dead, but it's dying. And much of the political commentary comes from TikTok, YouTube, and social media. And this has really influenced this election. You have huge streamers and influencers on the right, figures like Joe Rogan, who did a 3-hour interview with Donald Trump and JD Vance, which got tens of millions of views. Kamala Harris was also asked to do the interview. She declined. So was Tim Walz. I think he would have done great. Tim Walz is, a guy, he likes his shooting, he likes his sports, he's a sport coach. He's a down-to-earth union guy who I really think could have done a lot for the campaign. But I assume if Kamala wasn't going, neither was Tim. But the reach is massive here. We can't underestimate the power, and billions of dollars have been pumped into podcasts. Theo Vaughn, Joe Rogan, Charlie Kirk. The media landscape on the right is very powerful, very influential, and the Daily Wire, Ben Shapiro, well funded. Dave Rubin. These people have a lot of money and is part of, why a lot of people, Dave Rubin used to work for TYT. He went to the right. Seems Anna Kasparian is also doing the same thing. So it's easy to say, the Liberals failed to have a populist message, which I think they did, but it's very difficult to fight against such a behemoth of funding. Although Kamala Harris' campaign has a lot of money, they did fail to put it into leftist concrete. She went on a few podcasts, but leftist and liberal content creators, and have a kind of grassroots movement that pushed people and excited people through people they know. Donald Trump, was advised by his son to go on podcasts, engage with Joe Rogan and Aiden Ross and all these right-wing content creators. And it paid off dividends because a lot of the young men who watch his content, Joe Rogan, are disillusioned. And I was watching a content creator, a leftist content creator, who said that and it's quite depressing state of the left, really, that said that we shouldn't necessarily be appealing to people on the right, which I just think is completely wrong. Andrew Tate and his ilk have filled in a vacuum, and I think we need to, attract men over. What's the point of having a political movement if you aren't going to bring people over? And I think you should be, able to be edgy, not necessarily the most politically correct, call people names. People want to be entertained with their politics. They don't want to feel like they're offending, although, again, you shouldn't just offend to offend's sake, but you need to create an environment where the men you invite, it doesn't matter what they do. If they go to the gym or not, whatever they do, as long as they're good guys, they're not shit at, how they view women or how they treat people. As long as they're good people, they treat people with respect, they should be allowed in. And by not, trying to bring men in, young white men, we fail them. And I think We need to use our platforms to bring over men. I think it's harder now than ever. I don't think the problem is on the right to convince someone who's a hardcore Trump fan is nigh impossible because they've bought the Kool-Aid at this point. You're not going to convince them that, you know, Medicare for all or, slightly higher taxes are going to wash. So there is a lot of work to do, but we need to recognize the power of the right-wing media. They're well funded. The left isn't. The left has no money, zero money. And it's not even a, coherent political project at the moment. It's kind of fragmented and it's very small. So comment below, are the Liberals able to bring back and utilize populism? Are they able to use the content creator circuit to promote their message in the next few years? I have hope, but I think it's going to be a lot of hard work. So comment below and I'll see you in the next video.